Struggling to understand the different articles under human rights? Well, lucky for you, as a law lecturer and examiner who loves teaching human rights, I'm going to break it down for you in about 90 seconds. Article 2, your right to life. Now, this should be an absolute right, but it's not, because the state can use deadly force when it's absolutely necessary. For example, in the interest of national security or for self-defence, even preventing crime. Having said that, the government also has a right to protect life from known risks as well. Article 3, prohibition of torture. Now, this truly is an absolute right because nobody can ever interfere with it. This does include things like inhumane treatment or degradation as well, but as I've already mentioned, this is a right that nobody should be interfering with, even when it comes to war or terrorism-related offences. Article 5, your right to liberty, is a right that can be taken away for a good lawful reason. For example, when the police arrest you, or when it comes to prisoners going in prison and obviously having that right taken away. But when it comes to this right, anything that happens has to be done lawfully. So for example, if a police was to arrest you and detain you unlawfully, then that right has been unduly restricted, and that can be terms of some sort of case. Article 6, your right to fair trial, probably one of my most favourite rights to talk about because this encompasses everything from such as judges being neutral, having a jury when it comes to criminal trials, but we've seen over cases such as Heathrow robbery trial when this right has been taken away when there is a fundamental reason, for example, jury tampering taking place. Article 8 is your right to privacy, and again, this is a right that can be limited for good reason. For example, when it comes to national security or if it's done to protect others, but generally nobody should be interfering with your right to privacy when you're in your private home and even down to your private phone calls. Article 10, your freedom of expression, has been a huge talking point in news recently when it comes to things like Just Stop Oil, Extinction Rebellion or any kind of protest. Having said that, this right can be restricted if, say, I'm saying something discriminatory against somebody. Overall speaking, courts are more reluctant to stop this right just because it is such a fundamental part of our human rights in general. Your freedom of assembly under Article 11 is again a right that the courts are a little bit more reluctant to get involved in, but when it comes to things like public safety or to prevent disorder, then yes, the police can get involved, and I'm going to be doing a video on public order that you need to watch out for an evaluative question coming up.